to be a Jewish mother. Properly practiced, Jewish motherhood is an art, a complex network of subtle techniques which can be mastered by anyone. Julie Sindler and Robin Holmes took this duo Interp to Winter Park High School and placed first. With this piece, they were also state qualifiers. How to Be a Jewish Mother by Dan Greenberg.
And now I'd like to tell you about the basic philosophy of a Jewish mother. You will be called upon to function as a philosopher on two distinct types of occasions. One,
when anything bad happens.
And two,
when anything good happens.
Now, whenever anything bad happens, you must point out the fortunate aspects of the situation.
Ma!
What's the matter?
The bad boys ran off with my hat.
The bad boys ran off the hat? You should be grateful they also didn't slit your throat.
You must also point out that bad experience is the best teacher.
Maybe next time you'll know better than to play with roughnecks. This is the best thing that could have happened to you, believe me.
Face it, Edie. Just as Mother Nature cannot stand the vacuum, the Jewish mother cannot stand an empty mouth. Therefore, it shall be your purpose as a Jewish mother to make sure every mouth you can reach is filled with nourishing food.
What do you mean, no potatoes, Harvey? You think I'm trying to poison you?
Suggest that he takes only a small amount as a compromise.
Take only a sliver of the potatoes, then.
All right, Ma. But remember, only a sliver. You may now proceed to fill his plate with potatoes. The instant he has crammed down the last one, you must be ready to offer him seconds.
There, I told you you'd like it once you tried it. You're ready for seconds.
God, no!
Harvey, there are starving children in Europe.
Name one.
What? What was that, darling?
Nothing, Mother. Nothing. Bread with everything. Never forget the importance of bread in a diet. Urge that it is eaten with all foods, even snacks.
Harvey, wait. Take a little bread with that.
Bread with strawberry ice cream?
Just a little piece to help wash it down.
Now, should your child ever leave home, never let him leave without giving him a bag of sandwiches. You know, at last report, they were still selling food on the outside, but...
They are liable to stop at any moment. And besides, how good can it be? And anyways, who is this Wendy's person? How does she know how to cook burgers? Are they kosher?
You may be expected to discuss current events, mainly when men are present. Now, men do not consider the prevailing price of sirloin or the progress of your niece Edith's pregnancy to be current events. Therefore, you must learn to speak their language. Memorize the following list of subjects and approve reactions. Fidel Castro.
A man that cannot take the trouble to shave, comb his hair, and get a decent suit would not get my vote, I can tell you that much.
Mao Zedong.
A lot of improperly cooked vegetables, and God knows what kind of sauce. We only order the plain rice with a little bit of sauce.
Astronauts.
This is the way to honor living, that a young man should spend all his time cooped up without fresh air, without a proper meal, without proper exercise. There.
The common market.
I go mainly to Woolworths.
Thermonuclear war.
There, who needs it?
Milk with strontium 90.
First they pasteurized it, then they homogenized it, then they added vitamin D. Then I lost track. What's wrong with plain, ordinary milk straight from the cow? After all, what is a cow but a complete and utter failure?
Extrasensory perception.
Very nice.
IBM.
They tell me pretty soon you'll punch a little car in a machine, they'll cook you a meal. Will it also darn your socks?
Sammy Davis Jr.
I understand the man ran out and became a Jew. Listen, I give him a lot of credit. I myself would not have the courage to run out and become a colored person.
Rock musicians.
With a little practice, they'll go a long way. And I wish they'd start now.
The New York Mets.
In any large city, you're gonna find trouble.
Hitler.
My mother always told me never to say anything of the dead. Unless it's good. He's dead.
Good. And now, how to pay a compliment. You know, paying people compliments is really a lot of foolishness. It is is permissible, however, to pay a compliment in an emergency.
Oh, Florence, what have you done with your hair? It looks like you're wearing a wig. Oh, you are? Oh, your hair fell out. Oh, listen, it looks so natural, I never would have noticed. My son is so wonderful. He saved a girl from being attacked last night. He controlled himself.
And now, how to enjoy yourself at the beach. Don't let anybody go into the water less than 4 hours after eating. Caution them.
Not to stay in the water until their lips turn blue.
You know, have them come out of the water every so often to check the color of their lips. And then tell them.
Not to go out too far. Above the waist is too far. You can actually trip on a rock and drown.
Now, after a little coaching from your family, announce that you are going
Bathing.
wade into the water up to your ankles and squeal that it's
Too cold.
splash a few drops of water onto your bosom and exclaim.
Oh, such pleasure.
And now, the proper outfit for getting a suntan on the beach. Your son will always need something for the head,
To prevent sunburn.
something for the nose,
To prevent peeling.
dark glasses for the eyes,
To prevent blindness.
a long sleeve
To
jacket,
protect the arms.
a shawl,
To protect the jacket.
an umbrella,
To protect the shawl.
and sandals.
To prevent the feet from picking up somebody else's athlete's foot from the sand.
And finally, the Jewish Mother's Guide to Sex and Marriage. There are only 2 things a Jewish mother needs to know about sex and marriage. 1,
Who is having sex?
and 2,
Why aren't they married?
you know, it is never too early to begin preparing your son for marriage. At the age of 8 or 9, start to develop in him the good grooming habits which will help him win the hand of a capable young woman in marriage.
Fair, look at your ears. What kind of girl in her right mind is gonna want to marry a boy who has wax in his ears?
Develop his poise in a similar manner.
Stand up straight. What kind of girl in her right mind is gonna want to marry a hunchback?
By the age of 12 or 13, your son is ready for his first social encounter with the opposite sex. Arrange a party for young people at your home, or take the child to a dance. Now, if he appears hesitant to meet the young ladies, smooth the way over those first few embarrassing moments by introducing him yourself.
This is my son Irving, who stands like a hunchback.
By the time your son gets into high school, he will be going out on regular dates, and he will insist on choosing girls himself. Do not discourage this, but try to find out something about these girls for his own protection. Ask him as follows.
This girl, is she Jewish? She gets good marks in school. She smokes cigarettes in moderation. She drinks liquor in moderation. What kind of girl smokes cigarettes and drinks liquor?
And finally, how to behave when you discover your son necking in the living room. Wait until the young girl has gone home. Walk into your son's room and question him as follows.
Irving,
Oh, hi, Ma.
Irving, I saw what you were doing in there.
Oh?
Irving, who taught you this?
Oh, for God's sake, Ma, I'm a big boy now.
We are decent people, Irving. We have always tried to teach you to do the right thing. How could you do this stuff?
Ma, for God's sake, I was only kissing her.
Do you know what your father will do when I tell him? I'll tell you what he'll do. He'll have a heart attack.
Ma, you don't have to tell
What are
Pa.
the neighbors gonna say when they find out?
Ma.
For this, I had to have your teeth straightened. For this, I had to give you contact lenses. For this, I had to have some lady teach you French.
Ma.
I don't know what to do with you. My own son a pimp. If you had any consideration at all for your parents, you'd be the only decent thing there was.
And what's that?
You'll leave this house and you won't come back till you're a virgin.
Oh, mothers!
The next one, Sean Kent and Scott Watson, they took first at district FFP and then went to state. They then went to CFL state and have qualified for nationals. It is loved by... Marcia School, thank you, I just forgot it. No, I'm not Marcia Somerville. This is a strange story, but it's about 2 men that grew up together. One a complete success, one a complete loser. Harry Berlin is a total loser. He has hit the point where he's ready to jump off a bridge. And at that exact moment, that is when Milkman Bill shows up. Love.
glimpse of you and I said to myself, I bet that's Harry Berlin. I just bet that's Harry Berlin. And sure enough, it's all Harry Berlin himself. So how you been doing, Harry? What you been up to? It's been 15 years since I saw you last. Oh, remember, we had that party after graduation? You said keep in touch. I said I'd call you tomorrow. And that's the last I saw of you for 15 years.
Is it 15 years?
15 years.
Hard to believe.
15 years next month, as a matter of fact.
Time sure flies.
It sure does.
15 years next month.
15 years.
Who the hell are you?
Milt Manville, your old classmate from Wally Arts University.
That's right, Milt. Milt Manville.
Oh, Harry, let me tell you, I've been doing fabulous for myself. Got into the brokerage business during the day, you know, stocks, bonds, and securities. Got into secondhand bric-a-brac and personal accessories at night on my own. Great racket. The money just pouring in. It's an easy buck, too. And say, I finally went and did it. I got myself married. Ellen, wonderful girl. Do anything for her. A home in the suburbs, $35,000, no kidding, and that's not counting the trees. Tremendous trees, you can see them. And hey, look at this much. Solid gold, 14 carats. Notice the label? Silk underwear imported. Yo, Harry, smell this. Go on, smell it. Not bad, huh? How's it been going, Harry? Let's hear.
Awful, Bill. Awful. It couldn't be worse. I'm at the end of the line. Everything's falling apart.
I don't get it.
The world, Milt. People. Life. Death. The old questions. I'm choked with them.
Oh.
I must have been out of school for only a couple of weeks when it happened. Out of the blue. Disillusionment. Despair. Debilitation. The worst. It hit me all at once.
Oh.
I remember I was sitting in the park. It was a Sunday. A hot, lazy Sunday. The sun was burning down in the back of my neck. An open book was on my lap, and I was kind of daydreaming. My plans, my prospects. And suddenly, I looked up, and I saw standing there in front of me. It was, I don't know how to put it into words. It was a dog, Milt. A fox terrier. I'm sure it was a fox terrier, but I don't know.
Let's just say it was a dog, Harry.
It was a dog, right.
A dog, go ahead.
And he was standing there on his hind legs, looking at me. And he looked almost like a little old man with his little white beard and his little... But the thing is, Milt, he was laughing at me. He was laughing as loudly and as clearly as I'm talking to you now. I couldn't move. I couldn't believe what was happening to me. And then... he came up to me. He was on all fours now. He got up to me. When he got up to me, he raised his leg.
No!
I can swear to that. And then he turned around and walked right off. The whole thing was so unreal, also damn senseless. I thought, why me? Out of everyone in that park, out of hundreds, thousands of people, why me? How do you explain it? What did it mean? That started it. Right there was the beginning. Everything changed for me after that. It was as if I was dragged to the edge of the cliff and forced to look down. Oh, how can I make you understand? What words do I use? I was nauseous, Milt, sick to my soul. I became aware of the whole rotten, senseless, stinking deal. Nothing mattered to me after that. Nothing. Ask me what I believe in, Milt.
What do you believe in, Harry?
Nothing. I believe in nothing, Milt.
Nothing? That's terrible. How can anyone go on living without believing in anything?
That's the problem that I'm faced with. And there's no answer to it. None. Except down there.
Now, wait a minute. Now, Harry, I can understand. I can understand everything you said. But doesn't it seem a little unusual, just a little more than unusual, that I happened to come along at the exact moment, the exact precise moment that you were contemplating this horrible thing?
You don't mean...
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. But let's just remember, science doesn't always have all the answers.
Talking about it only makes it worse, Milt. You don't know the agony I've been through. It's gotten so bad that sometimes in the middle of the day or night, without warning, my whole body becomes completely paralyzed. I can't move a muscle.
Harry? Harry, what does it speak to me, Harry? Harry, speak to me!
I'm all right now. That's the way it happens.
That's terrible. You scared the life out of me. Why don't you go see a doctor, a specialist, or someone?
I don't have to see anyone. I know what it is. The will to live drops out of me, plops right at me. Why move, I say to myself. Why do anything? But that's not the half of it. Sometimes I lose the power of sight completely. I grope blindly about. Milt, are you still there?
I'm right here, Harry.
Help me, Milt. Help me get back to the bench.
Okay, Harry. Here's a bench. Right here. Sit down.
Thank you. Thank you, Milt.
Is there, anything else I can do?
Nah, I'm all right now. That's the way it happens.
I never believe it.
Well, I see, I say to Why be a witness to it? Why, Milt? Why?
I don't know, Harry, I don't know.
So I go blind and I don't see. The whole thing becomes completely automatic. I have no control over it.
But there must be something you can do to...
What? What did you say, Milt?
I said there must be something you
I
can do
can't
to...
hear you. Speak slowly and I'll try to read your lips.
I said there must be something you
I
can
can
do
hear
to...
you now. That's the way it happened.
Did it ever occur to you that you're in the position you're in now because you've never known the feeling that comes with money, with power, and with influence?
My parents left me a few stinking thousand. That's true. But don't forget I never lived with them. I lived with my grandparents. And it was hell. Believe me, it was hell.
Get to live with my parents for a couple weeks, then you'd know what hell was really like. Those two, they were like a couple of cats at each other's throat. And the poverty, the lousy, humiliating poverty, I didn't go to school until I was 7 years old because I didn't have a pair of shoes to wear. Oh yeah, lucky for me, the kid downstairs was hit by an ice cream truck and I got hit. Even then, they were so tight, I couldn't walk. I was put in a special class for disabled children.
You think that was bad? My grandparents used to lock me out of the house. Said I reminded them too much of my father. I remember one day I came home from school during a blinding snowstorm, and the door was locked. I remember I knocked and yelled, and beat my poor little frozen fist in the door, and they laughed at me. They laughed. Picture that for yourself. A tall, skinny kid standing out in the snow, wearing nothing but a thin, torn jacket, and a paper bag for a hat. Not me alone. Let me in. Please let me in.
Paradise. It was paradise compared to my childhood.
Did you ever get beaten?
I did.
With what?
A strap, a stick, a radiator cover.
A chain?
How thick?
As thick as my wrist.
What'd you get for breakfast?
At home?
At home.
A glass filled with 2/3 water and 1/3 milk.
Coffee grinds, that's what I got.
With sugar?
Not on your life. I ate them straight like oatmeal.
Did your mother ever kiss you?
For once, when I stuck my head between her lips in a picture of Clark Gable.
That's better than I did.
What presents did you get for Christmas?
Presents? When I was 5, my grandparents bought me a box of donuts. And every year until I was 17, I got a donut.
You were a lucky kid and you didn't even know it.
They were cinnamon donuts.
Harry, you're missing the whole point here. Even if we started out on the same foot, I raised myself up to a level of responsibility, respectability, and importance. And let me tell you something, Harry. Nothing succeeds like success.
You know that I'm not interested in any of that, Milt. I need something else to go on. A reason for living. Just let me jump and get it over with.
Stop talking like that. How could you change so much? What happened to the Harry Berlin I knew in high school? The guy who was ready for a good time and laughed at the drop of a hat. Harry, remember us marching down the football field in our red and gold uniforms? You leading the Polyarch all-girl band on the left, me leading them on the right, our batons twirling in the air. Alma mater, forward to the fray. We will win our victory and move right on our way.
It's no use, Milt. It only makes it worse. You're right, though. At school, everything was different. I was different. I expected so much.
Harry, listen to me. Love.
Love?
Yes, Harry, human love. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
What do you think's been keeping me going this long?
Ask me what I believe in, Harry.
What do you believe in, Milt?
I believe in love.
Love?
Yes, Harry, love.
If I only thought there were a chance.
Of course there's a chance. Being alive gives you that chance. And now that we've met again, I'll introduce you to some people. I'll show you around, you'll meet some woman, and one day you'll get down on your knees and thank me. What do you say?
You have to understand, it's not easy. I don't know how I'm going. The sun, the stars, the moon eye.
Oh, Harry, for God's sake, don't start that again, Harry. Love.
It did it, Milt. It worked. I swear, the moment you said the word love, I felt my whole body begin to melt. I said I felt that.
See? What did I tell you? Give it a chance.
Give love a chance?
Give love a chance. Love.
Love?
Love.
Love.
Bo Whaley writes about all sorts of people. However, he has concentrated one book on the examination of a group of people that we in Apopka are supposed to know a lot about. Residents. Robbie Now Bell is one resident in particular that he centers this piece around. Julie Siller has taken this to 3 tournaments, placing 5th at Jacksonville, breaking semifinals at FSU, and the amazing achievement of placing 5th at NFL State. Here's Julie Sindler with Rednecks and Other Bona Fide Americans by Bo Whaley.
Are you a redneck? Take the following test. Do you have the uncontrollable urge to spit? Do you think Jane Fonda, Bella Abzug ought to just shut the hell up? But Dolly Parton, bless her sweet picking heart, can say anything she darn well pleases? Do you hate Shakespeare, ballet, plays, but never miss a car chase scene on HBO? What's the verdict? Rednecks and Other Bona Fide Americans by Bo Whaley. Robbie Nail is a redneck, and I couldn't have found a better one in the back of a four-wheel drive pickup truck or at any tractor pull south of Dillon, South Carolina. She's my top choice for Redneck of the Year. I sat and watched her and her crew, Ramrod, Snake, Little Un, Big Un, and Hawkeye, from my vantage point at the counter. Robbie Nail divided her time between lighting Salem 100s and coughing. Her long, straight hair, blonde tonight but destined to change colors more times than a chameleon, kept getting in her beer. But she was in charge, the boss of the back booth. Put another quarter in the Jean, Cockeye. I ain't got no quarter. What? You ain't got no quarter and you talk about taking me to Florida? Hawkeye sulked. I figured this was as good as any time to make my entrance, so I approached. What would you like to hear? J7? I dropped in my quarter and punched J7, and thereby brought Willie Nelson to center stage with On the Road Again. Got another quarter, what'd you like to hear? Punching again! J7? That's a big 10-4, Charlie. I seen you reading the paper up at the counter. What's in the news? Oh, I was just reading about some guy who raped a nun, stabbed a priest, and stole all the money from the Catholic Church. Damn, that's downright terrible. Oh, it says here they gave him a total of 730 years. Why, that is so big, they ought to give him life. It was just over a year ago that Robbie Nail had her first encounter with a pair of New Jersey Americans. She handled the encounter well. The two immigrants pulled up in front of Nell's driving a big old Cadillac and eating grapefruit on Indian River. That was status symbols back in the Garden State. The one had actually touched down on Florida soil. The front bumper also bore supporting evidence in the form of a Marine Land sticker. The female of the pair sported a wrinkled old suntan that all her friends at the Jersey Deli would simply drool over. The man wore short sandals and was puffing on a big old cigar, long as a hoe handle, and smelled like George Blackshear's cow lot on a rainy Monday morning. The two sat down next to the very operative jukebox. Robbie Nail closed in. Y'all want some barbecue? Do we have a choice? I reckon so. We got sliced and chipped. Is that all you got? We got pickled pig's feet and Slim Jims. The pair chose barbecued sandwiches, chipped, and then ordered their drinks. What do y'all got to drink? We got beer and Coke. The male chose beer and the disappointed female chose Coke after determining there was no diet. In due time, Robbie Nail slid the sandwiches in front of the foreigners. Hey girl, we specifically asked for hot sauce. What's the matter with you people? Don't you know how to season food? Up where we come from, people know how to season food. Robbie Nail went in the kitchen. Nail, you got any of that Aunt Minnie pepper sauce left over from last Christmas? I think so. Last time I used it to start my outboard motor. Oh yeah, here it is, but you be careful. After a generous dousing of both sandwiches, Robbie Nail once again slid them in front of the customers. There, that's more like it. You just gotta down the ay, my mouth's on fire, water, quick. The woman did some kind of Indian fire belly dance out the front door. Last seen, both were eating Indian River grapefruits by the dozen, trying to get their car started. Yankee, go home, cried Robbie Nail. And stay there, cried Mel. I'm sure you'll all be glad to know that I called Robbie Nail the other day. She's doing just fine, writing country songs up in Nashville. So have you had any really big hits? Heck yeah, I had some big hits. I had my biggest one right after my brother's wife ran off with the roto-rooter man. That's lovely. How's your personal life going? Pretty good. I'm trying to get married, but my boyfriend's got to get a divorce from his old wife, Marge. Great. What was the name of that song? You mean you ain't heard of it? It's called I Stuffed Her Turkey and She Cooked My Goose. Great. Why don't you send a copy of all your songs down here? That's just darling. You can be my Georgia agent. I'm not sure if you're ready for this, but here's the list of songs by Miss Robbie Nail Bell. He's walking in my tracks, but he can't fill my shoes. I'd rather be picked up here than put down at home. She ain't much, but she looks good through the bottom of a glass. It took a hell of a man to take my hand, but it sure didn't take him long to do it. I love being spanked when I'm a-listening to Hank. And finally, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a girl with the frontal lobotomy. Now, I'm sure you're all just dying to know that Robbie Nail has gotten married, and I called her up to ask her about the wedding. I asked her if she was planning on serving such things as wine and caviar. Heck no! Just long neck colts and some mellow yeller for the youngins. Is Robbie Nail for real? You bet your pickup truck she's for real. And she's a bona fide American.
It gives me great honor, honestly, young man. Not only once, not twice, but 3 times he placed first with this piece. He's not only going to Chicago for CFL Nationals, but on July 17th he'll be going to San Jose, California, the only one from the school. With him, he'll be performing tonight a multi-charactered, multi-ethnic piece from Larry Siegel called The Classics.
Great literary works are masterpieces of words. And so today I'd like to look at those classic novels, the ones we have read and reread, and see what they look like in a modern light. The Classics by Larry Siegel. 3 truly timeless works of art. The first, the stirring sea saga of one man's compulsion to kill the greatest of all whales, Herman Melville's classic, Moby Dick. Call me Fishman. Like many American boys growing up in the early 19th century, I had a restless desire for adventure. The sea was in my blood. I decided I could hold back the urge no longer, and I had to leave home and go to sea. My parents were deeply upset. What? You, a sailor? Fat. You don't even have a wooden leg. You know all 19th century sailors got wooden legs. What would the Jones family next door say? That's true, darling. Look at them with their boy Peg Leg in the Pacific and their other son Gimpy in the Atlantic. Not only do you not have a wooden leg. Yes, Father, I know I jumped on a parrot. You gotta have a parrot. Oh, 19th century sailors got parrots. Darling, you gotta get a wooden leg. You can't break up a set. I don't care. I left home that afternoon and signed on as an apprentice seaman on the whaling ship, the Kumquat. I turned out to be a great sailor. I worked 22 hours a day. I threw up every 45 minutes, and my back was flogged regularly by a whip. Yes, life was grueling. We have an awful work schedule. The first night is cruel. He flogged me yesterday. They're only flesh and wood, matey. During my 5th day at sea, I met the captain. He was a short, wizened man with scraggly hair, and I could see at once what the terrible life the sea had taken upon him. For not only did he have a wooden leg, but he had a wooden arm and a wooden ear. And perched on his shoulder was a wooden parrot. It was Captain A-Crab.
Mates, there are many whales out there in the deep, but I'm concerned with just one. Moby Duke, the white whale. I've been tracking Monai for 50 years. I must catch him. I must.
The days passed and the kumquat proceeded on its dedicated mission to find and kill Moby Duke. We encountered nothing but frustration. We encountered black whales, gray whales, green whales, and even got a fleeting glimpse of Brucey, the fuchsia whale. No white whale.
Mates, chasing whales has cost me dearly. I now have 2 wooden legs, 2 wooden arms, a wooden hip, and a wooden large intestine.
I would clutch my heart with pity when I would see the captain lie on the deck and scream for the
Governor! Governor!
Thank God in here, Brown said his nose point. Passions were non-existent. It was horrifyingly of all, except for his nose. Captain A-Crab was reduced to a solid block of wood.
How is he?
He's responding to treatment, but don't like the looks of the nose it's going to have to go. There was no wood left, so the carpenter grafted a long, beak-shaped chunk of iron to the middle of the captain's face. Filled it against rust, polished him every 4 hours, and called it in the morning. Days passed on, and then finally, one day...
Ahoy, mates! On the port side!
It was Moby Duke, where an Easter fusillade out of harpoons. The battle raged on for hours. Miraculously, Moby Duke's spirit of life prevailed. Mates, we have no more harpoons. We took it like men. I clicked in my head and I knew what I had to do. I went to Captain A-Crab. I used him for a harpoon, and I launched him. Its sharp nose struck the heart of the great white whale, and the great white Moby Duke died. We responded as saddened sailors would.
Well, we just gave him a Polish all day.
And now the heartwarming and stomach-churning tale of peasant life in China. The Goodly Earth by Beryl Hawkes. One day in a small village in China, a man named Wan Lung took a beautiful bride. She was a beautiful creature named Oman. Wan Lung and Oman. Wan Lung, he had one noticeable flaw. He had a terrible sense of humor. For example, so, oh man, I think that our eldest daughter, Woo, should get a job checking coats at a cafe in Canton.
Why, oh, my husband, should our eldest daughter get a job checking coats?
What's the matter? You never heard of a Chinese checker? And one day, the Warlungs were faced with their first family crisis.
Most exalted husband, I have received some disturbing news about our 38th son.
You mean the future orator? The boy with the tongue of silver?
Yes, our son Hayo. He started the boys' room today, not smoking opium.
What is it for children today? Bring him here.
Yes, oh, Para.
Why have you done this?
I'm sorry, Para. I just got caught up in good company.
I don't think you should be an orator, young man. You should be a barber.
I should not be a barber, Para.
What's the matter? You never heard of a China clipper? The great black cloud came over the horizon. It was the
17-year locusts.
millions of the deadly insects flew everywhere. Suddenly, they disappeared. Thank the gods they are gone. They run me back for a run time. In an hour, they return again.
What are they doing back so soon? They are not supposed to be here for another 17 years.
Don't forget, woman. They've eaten the Chinese food, and an hour after you've eaten the Chinese food,
One more corny joke, old man, I kill you with the walk.
you're hungry all over. Bang! Oh, my neck! I broke the walk. Soon, Bonlung's family lived on without him, eating rice, having babies, and of course,
I think we should put you children in a TV show where you drive around in a fast car and talk like Hicks.
what can we call the show, mother? Dukes of Hazzard. Now, Finally, the story of poor, oppressed Oklahoma sharecroppers who can only unleash their full fury against life after drinking cheap homemade wine. The Wrath of Grapes by John Steinbeck. It was the year 1934. Conditions in the United States were terrible. The severe drought had seized the land. In these trying times, a young man named Tom Toad was released from prison and returned home to his family. Hi, Mom. Was it real tough in prison, son? Yeah. I mean, we had nothing to eat but bread and serotonin, and you dropped the soap in the shower, well, you just had to leave it be. Well, at least she's home now, so. But Ma, Pa, we're busting through the walls of this old house. Our family's getting larger every day. Pa, why didn't you get a condominium or something? You gotta mind that dirty mouth of yours, boy. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about moving to California. So the Toad family packed up their meager belongings. You mean? Then headed out. Things were rough on the road. Grandma and Grandpa Toad died. Just put them on the back of the truck and buried them in California. And then finally, the filth and the poverty vanished. They arrived in the city of angels, Los Angeles. Look at that. A house of worship. Our Lady of the Eternal Tan. Men are blonde.
All these women are blonde.
All of them is tan. All of them's carrying surfboards.
All of them's telling us to have a nice day.
Oh, this place is so pretty. It must be Fairyland. Two men over there is holding hands. Oh, I've seen Oklahoma and California, and I know now where our future lies. So the Toad family packed up their meager belongings once again, put their beloved grandparents' corpses in the back of the truck, and headed back for Oklahoma. That brings me to the end of this week's edition of the Classics. Next week, I'll return with an excerpt from The Scalloped Letter by Nathaniel Hartwell. In this book, Esther Prim has a child of sin, and is decided by the town elders she must wear a letter S with scalloped edges on the front of her blouse for the rest of her life.
Oh, religious elders of the town. What does the letter S stand for?
Sinner! It is a badge of shame to be born by all humanity to a violent and brought an indelible scar on the entire Puritan faith.
Why do you scallop?
Well,
I just add something on, you know. It's just something that looks fabulous. That is next week when we open the books and study the classics.
There have been many famous lovers throughout history, beginning with Adam and Eve.
What's that?
Don't know.
Can I touch it?
No! You broke yours off already. Oh, nothing. Come with me to my chambers.
Oh, not tonight, Mark Antony. I'm on my pyramid.
There are many Shakespearean lovers.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, where forth art thou? Let us partake at that fancy restaurant we ate fortnight.
Hey, naughty, and Romeo, but Juliet.
There were lovers from France, like Marie Antoinette, who lost her head to King Louis.
There was the English captain who courted Pocahontas.
Ugly. We stayed at early American hotel.
And I signed the name John Smith.
There was red and scarlet from the Civil War.
We had Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun during the World War II.
Doink and Mamie in the 50s.
And Brenda and Jerry during the 60s.
Brenda, a modern woman who's looking for love that will last a lifetime.
And Jerry, a wicked guy who is looking for love that will last the whole night.
Brenda and Jerry from Lovers and Other Strangers.
By Renee Taylor and Joseph Bologna. My apartment is right over here.
Did you read Sex and the Single Girl by Helen Gurley Brown?
No,
Well, Helen Gurley says that if you go into a man's apartment after just beginning the acquaintanceship, you are just asking for trouble.
Really?
However, Dr. Albert Ellis in Sex and the Single Man encourages it.
No kidding.
But I don't agree with either of them. I mean, how can you generalize about something like that? Am I right?
Sure.
I think who you are, who the man is, and what your particular needs are can't help but color your true feelings. That's why I'll wait for you out here.
What?
I'd rather wait for you out here.
What for?
I just don't like going into a person's apartment when I hardly know the person. Not that anything's gonna happen, it's just the idea of the thing. You know what I mean?
Sure, but I told you. I think I left my gas on. We'll just go in, check my oven, and leave.
Well, okay, but just for a second. I just don't like going into a person's apartment when I hardly know them. You know what I mean?
Sure, you mean, it's like the idea of the thing.
It's the idea of the thing. Oh, what a nice decor. Sends off good vibrations. Very masculine. How much?
135.
Gas and electric included?
Yes.
Well, I don't smell any.
What?
Gas.
Look, as long as you're here, do you want to use my bathroom?
What?
Well, I know how girls have to go to the bathroom more often than guys, and it is a long ride home.
Okay, thanks.
Yes! Boom, boom, boom. Do you want to dance?
That's funny.
What is?
You know when I was in the bathroom and I heard all those noises?
What noises?
When you were running around here creating atmosphere, I thought to myself, oh boy, he's gonna do something gauche, like make a pass, and all you wanted was a dance!
Do you want to dance?
I don't know. Do you want to dance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom. I'll bet you can't guess where the music's coming from.
The phonograph.
No, my tape recorder. I got it about a year ago, and I don't know what I did without it. Every evening I tape something groovy, like television specials or when Frank Sinatra's on. Can you guess how many speakers I've got?
No.
6.
I'm getting a little sleepy. I think you better take me home.
Wait a second. Wait a second. I'd like to talk to you for a while. Sit down. We'll talk a little.
About what?
Life?
Okay.
It's hard to talk to dance music.
Do you believe that man is a love object and woman is the other?
What?
Did you read The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir?
No, I...
Well, that's what Simone says, but I don't agree. Why do I have to be the other? I have as much right to be the love object as the man does. What do you think?
Okay.
I'm glad you said that. What are you gonna do?
Kiss you.
Why?
Because your lips are nice.
Oh, Jerry. I think I'd better go. It's not that I'm not having a good time, it's the idea of how I'm having it. But don't stop. I'll try not to think about it. Hey, the blinds are up. People can look in.
Don't worry about it. The windows will fog up.
Can I have a cold drink?
Come on, you don't want a cold drink.
Yes, I'm thirsty. May I speak frankly? A friend of mine was going with this guy she picked up at Central Park at the zoo, and they spent the whole weekend together. But it was a very full 2.5 days. Do you know what I mean by full?
Sure, you mean full.
Right. I mean, the sexual thing was there, don't get me wrong. But so is the spirituality. Did you read The Prophet by Khalil Gibran?
No, I was going to read it, but I never got around to it.
Well, you know, he says, I am you, you are me, we are one. Well, they were one at his house, her house, all over town they were one. Then he was supposed to call her. Well, a whole week goes by and he doesn't call. Next Friday night she bumps into him again and he says, let's go to my place. Can you imagine after he hadn't even called? And she says, well, what kind of girl do you think I am? Okay, no regrets, they were one. It was a full 2.5 days. Do you want to hear something else really depressing? Not only did this guy not even call her, he didn't even buy her a coat. Now that's more depressing than what does. Oh, what a giving thing. This may be you, but it isn't me.
What isn't?
May I speak frankly? I know we just met 30 minutes ago, but just what do I mean to you? I mean, am I just a passing train in the night you're having a transitory frolic with? Or is this the beginning of a beautiful relationship on a permanent basis?
The second one?
Let's wait.
Wait? For what?
For the first date. I just don't believe in fooling around until the first date. Maybe that sounds a little old-fashioned, but those are my values. I mean, we hardly even know each other. other.
I know you, even though I don't know you. Sometimes you meet a person that you've never seen before and you feel like you know that person. When I saw you tonight in Maxwell's Plum, I just knew I knew you.
Beautiful.
What's the matter?
Well, I don't know you.
What do you want to know?
Did you read The Art of Loving by Erich Fromm?
No, it just came out on paperback. It's all sold out.
Well, Fromm says whoever is capable of giving of himself is rich. That's why I try to be open like a blackboard that needs to be written on. Let's rest.
What do you want to rest for? We haven't done anything.
I'd like a moment to reflect about things.
What things?
Would you stroke my hair? Oh, Jerry, I like this. Shall I tell you how I feel?
Sure.
I am queen of the universe. The waves part and engulf me, and the sea foam is warm, warm. Kiss me, Jerry, kiss me. How do you feel?
Warm, like sea foam.
Do you want me to stay?
Yes.
The whole night?
Yes, but don't talk so much. Tell you what?
That I am queen.
You are queen. You are queen.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. Say it again.
You are... Look, I think we got off the track somewhere. Can we not talk and just do it?
Do what? I don't follow.
What do you mean you don't follow? What we came here for? Sex!
Oh, Jerry! That's not you talking. That's not my Jerry.
Your Jerry? I don't even know you. How can I be your Jerry?
You said you knew me at once, and I knew you knew. That's why I let you make advances towards me and wine me and dine me.
Are you crazy? You made the advances. I didn't wine and dine you. You asked me to buy you a cup of coffee, so I did.
I can't get over this. You mean all you wanted from this relationship was something cheap and smutty? I have needs too, Jerry.
I'll put you in a cab, and it was nice knowing you. Why don't I ever have any luck? Every night I go down to Maxwell's Plum, and either I get a brush from a girl, or I get a tease, or I wind up with some nut. Tonight, I had to get a combination. What is it about me?
Jerry, it is obvious you are a slave to your emotions.
What?
A woman is just like an object to you, like an ice cream popsicle. Oh, you'll enjoy the flavor of it, but take care. One day you'll try to discard that wrapper, and that orange sherbet will stick to your fingers, because all you know how to do is take. You've never learned the art of reciprocal giving, and that's what love is. Am I right, Jerry?
I guess so.
Then take.
What?
Go ahead, Jerry, take.
But I thought you said I don't reciprocate.
I'll give for the both of us. Oh, Jerry, aren't you glad we waited?
Educational television documentary. So full of facts, so full of knowledge, so full of new and exciting people telling us interesting things about places we've never been. Today, with the help of Larry Siegel, we are off to explore an exciting new show as we tune into The Immigrants, a documentary satire by Larry Siegel. The Immigrants. Who are they? Where did they come from? Why did they come? From every hillside they came, answering Miss Liberty's call. Send me your poor, your tired, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. She lights the lamp beside the golden door, and from the teeming shores the wretched refuse came like hungry mosquitoes to the yellow porch light of freedom. This week on The Immigrants, the Hillbillies. And now your host, Gregory Puck. Thank you, Jeff. From every hillside in Europe, discontented hillbillies voiced their dissatisfaction with living overseas. And now, hillbillies from Switzerland. I don't like it here in Switzerland. Me neither, the pants are too short. Yeah, and them skiers coming over the mountains causing trouble. I got skewed by one of them the other day. The cheese here got holes in it, and hell, I'm Baptist, I don't regard no Pope. Hey, what are we doing here? In America, they got cheese and aerosol cans. That's it. Let's go to America. Let's go there. Now, hillbillies from France.
I don't like it here in France.
Me neither. Everybody's so snotty.
Everything here is so expensive, and in America you can get Levi's real cheap. Hey, what are we doing in America? Here, let's go to America. And now, hillbillies from Italy. I don't like it here in Italy.
I'm tired of sharecropping grapes.
Yeah, losing our land and them big olive oil bins. Yeah, I got 6 little bambinos and a fat Mamma Mia, and I can hardly make it on the Libra I But down here, I can't give you no DIB or RCE.
Hey, what are we doing here? Let's go to America. Let's go there.
And so the Great Migration began. Throughout Europe, the roads were choked with hillbillies with the dreams for the new land, and now, hillbillies on the road. Howdy! You going west?
Dude, where you from?
I'm from the Urals out Russia way.
The girls? I got kin up there. You ever heard of the Devayevich family?
Well, yeah. And Tesha Baba G is a good friend of mine.
She is? Well, she's my cousin. We got married a couple of weeks ago.
Where you headed out west?
America. I hear that the streets are paved with coal.
Yeah, it's true. They got real good showers in the Kmart. And so the hillbillies embarked on an arduous sea journey that would cost some their lives and many their lunch. And now, hillbillies on the ship.
Unstrap that mattress. No, I'm kidding. Strap on that mattress. Grandma, you ride on the top.
On the top.
Uh-huh.
In the dark. Dark. Danky, smelly storage compartment. The hillbillies confided in each other their pitiful hopes and dreams for their new land. And now, hillbillies on the deck. Boy, I'm a-loving in America. I hear they got eggplants the size of your head. I'm gonna take a armload of eggplants and I'm gonna squash them all over my face. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna get me a 1956 Ford and put it up on blocks on the front lawn. I'm gonna get me an old pickup truck with rust spots and a gun rack and drive up and down Main Street all day and run over cats. I hear they got new fine schools in there. You can go right on up to the first grade. After 2 long days at sea, the hillbillies were faced with choking dust storms that plagued them every nautical mile of the way. After 2 long days, a sharp-eyed hillbilly looked out with rotten teeth and spotted land. I didn't think it was important enough to mention.
We're sinking.
What? Hand me that fuzzy duffel bag. What? Unstrap that mattress. What?
Oh, we're sinking.
So, the friendships made on shipboard were soon ended as the hillbillies headed off for their different directions and destinations. And now, the hillbillies say goodbye. Hey, taxi! Hey, where you headed?
I'm going to Paducah, Iowa.
I'm going to Aston, Florida. Say, you mind if I strap this mattress to the side of the taxi? Grandma, you ride on the top. On the top? I'm still wet. Ah, never mind, the ride will dry you out. You coming, boy? Not me, Pa. I'm just gonna hang around this here bus station spitting and picking my nose all day. Well, okay, if that's what you want to do. Goodbye, son. Goodbye, Pa. I'm glad we made it to America. I'll make you proud of me. I'll be the best spitting and picking person you can think of. And so the hillbillies traveled into the heart of America, where their contributions were woven into the fabric of American culture, like hush puppies, rickets, rotten teeth, mental retardation, incest, genetic infertility, black lung disease, cancer of the lip, and banjo music. And now, Who can forget those proud Americans who call themselves hicks, crackers, rednecks, and hillbillies? Minnie Pearl, Gimmer Pyle, Buddy Ebsen, Buddy Hackett, Hillbilly Gene King, Hillbilly Joel, Hillbilly the Kid. Next week, the Russian persecution of the Czechoslovakian people in Russia cancels checks. On the immigrants, good night and kiss.